What would it mean to be able to talk to angels? How would that change your life? Join us now on Angel Talk Tuesday as the psychic angel channelers Julie Geigel and Susan Schuler allow angels to speak directly through them, sharing messages from beyond. As you bathe in the vibrational frequency of the angels here, you will begin to open up to a stronger and clearer communication of your own. The purpose of this show is to help you awaken, expand, and remember the magnificent being that you are and the mission you came here to fulfill.
Welcome everyone. Our theme for the month is Rising Independence, and today's topic is Alone Again Naturally. Hi, this is Julie Geigel, International Psychic Medium, Trance Channel for Archangel Metatron, and Awakened Healer. I offer psychic medium readings and spiritual counseling over the phone and in person in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and I also teach online spiritual classes. And you can find me over at juliegeigel.com and on Facebook at Psychic Medium Julie. And I would love to invite you to join us for our next Manifesting Mastermind number 7, 28 Days to Abundance, coming up August 8th, 8/8. It's going to be an incredibly powerful day, and excited to have you join us there. It is an incredible experience of opening to receive prosperity and abundance, really fine-tuning your manifesting and creating abilities, and also being led by divine inspiration. So opening up to that beautiful communication that you have with Spirit, who is really helping to assist you in creating a reality filled with love and joy and peace, and of course harmony. All right, and like I said, that's coming up on August 8th. We'll be having a sneak preview next week for that course, and again, all the details are over at juliegeigel.com. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'll ring the tingsha bells to clear out any lower vibrations and create a pure sacred space for our trance channeling today, and then I'll invite you to take 3 deep breaths with me. Here we go. Welcome. I am Metatron, here in service to humanity. We come in peace and love for you this day, assisting in the evolution of your planet, assisting in the expansion of your consciousness, helping you to align with all that you came here to complete. And we are very much aware that there are many of you desiring a romantic partner in your life. And we know that that can be a beautiful experience. But we also know that sometimes in your life, it isn't about being with someone outside of yourself. It is about being with that which you are, creating a beautiful relationship with your soul, with your spirit, with your higher self. Let go of your attachments to wanting things to be different than they are. Be present in your life now. And find the gifts that this present moment brings you, whether you are in a relationship or not. You are whole and complete. You are an aspect of divinity. There is nothing broken and nothing that needs to be fixed. And there is no one you need to complete you. You are completed. You are the perfect and the perfection. You are the expression of God. And imagine that energy of God. There is nothing that God needs to complete himself, for he is the fullest expression of all, of everything. There may be things that enhance that expression, but there is nothing that he desires, for he is the all of everything, as are you. Releasing all attachments to feeling alone. Releasing all attachments to feeling incomplete. Sometimes, in this human form, you get attached to your story, the story of loneliness, the story of disconnected, the story of no one loves me. We are here to assist you now in releasing your stories and seeing with perfect clarity the truth of your being. Rising up, rising up, rising up. Feel the love that God has for you in this moment. Feel the completeness of that which you are. Take the time to get to know yourself better. Take the time to love yourself completely, as God loves you, as your angels love you, your spiritual counsel. Infinite, unconditional, unattached, no expectations, love. And as you sink deeply into the truth of your essence, your soul, there will arise a beautiful serenity, a beautiful harmony with who you are. It is your ego that is incessantly criticizing your actions, your words, your desires. Well-meaning people who are stuck in their own belief systems of untruth and illusion. Do not let them take your power. Do not adopt their belief systems. You are strong. You are independent. There is nothing you need to complete you. You are already that. And the Pleiadians are here to join us this day, bathing you in this beautiful vibrational frequency of their love, their tremendous support, realigning your DNA to complete the fullest expression of your individuality without fear. There is no need to hide any longer. It is okay for you to be strong, independent, and self-sufficient. The illusions of the human order are dissolving. The new consciousness is rising. And the Pleiadians are here to see to the completion of this next phase. Do not be afraid of their energy. They have come in love and light to serve. I am Metatron, and I have spoken here this day. This is Julie Geigel, channeling Archangel Metatron, and you can find me over at juliegeigel.com. You are listening to Angel Talk Tuesday. Call in at 1-202-570-7057 with questions during our next segment.
The future of Internet radio is here. OMTimes Radio, IOM FM.
Hi, I'm Kelly Fox, host and astrologer of The Astrology Show. Each week, I'll give you access to the current transits, which are a valuable tool that provide astrological information to help unlock the potential each of us has. Understanding the stars can help steer us in the right direction to make better informed choices. So if you're wondering what's going to happen in your week ahead, be sure to tune in to The Astrology Show for guidance, Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
Do you need help with relationships, romance, or career? I'm a triple-tested, accurate, and ethical psychic medium and spiritual counselor. Simply click on my Call Me Now button at juliegeigel.com.
Mediumship readings offer much closure and healing. This is Susan Schuler. Let me connect you to your loved ones on the other side. Schedule an appointment at mediumsusan.com.
And we are the Psychic Angel Channelers from Angel Talk Tuesday, hosted every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern on OMTimesRadio.com.
Well, I finally did it. I opened a 401k.
What? Why? Just wait for the inheritance. We've definitely got a rich uncle somewhere. We're one call away from the winner's circle at the Derby, dinners with multiple forks, a vacation home in the country, using summer as a verb.
You don't actually think that, do you?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Welcome back. This is Julie Geigel with Angel Talk Tuesday, and we have our lovely Susan Schuler joining us here this morning. Good morning, Susan.
Good morning, Julie. How are you? That was quite a little powerful channel you did there.
Well, thank you, my dear. Thank you. We are excited. We've got a caller, Julia from Florida, so we'll go ahead and take her right away. Good morning, Julia.
Good morning. Thank you for taking my call.
Most definitely. How can we help today?
Well, love. I'm following the show topic of love. I am alone again, naturally. And I would very much love to have that, committed love relationship, someone to share and, have that heart connection and to be a companion and to just, enjoy life together.
Most definitely. And so, Julia, as I take a closer look at your energy, I pulled a card from the romance deck. And the card that comes up for you today is let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. So what I'm actually seeing with this card is that right now, this is time to develop friendships and to really focus on harmonizing and expanding and opening your connection with your friends. And it is through this focus or this attention on developing friendships, not only cultivating existing relationships, but also creating new opportunities and possibilities for friendships. It is through harnessing and focusing your energy on friends that's going to bring the next romance into your life. Does this make sense?
Yeah. I made a move. I ended a very long marriage and left the state and went to another state. And so, friendships are an area that needs some attention. So, that's right on point.
Yeah, and Julia, if I may jump in at this point, I do feel, because I still feel like the marriage that was ended, like the energy is still kind of clinging to you. And I do feel like there's a lot of not just healing that needs to take place here, but a lot of embracing more with self-worth. I feel like, Julia, you cognitively, like in your brain, you are a worthy, beautiful individual, but I still feel like there's that wounded part of you that doesn't actually feel it. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Yeah. And so there's an aspect right now of you truly embracing that. And so like what Julie had said about putting yourself out there more, I'm seeing actually like Meetup So I don't know if where you're living, if they have meetups, but I feel like that would be like a productive way for you to meet like-minded people, because the way that it shows to me is I feel like there is a gentleman who's kind of on the outskirts of that. And I feel like you would meet him, like Julie said, through someone that you meet, like a friend of the friend. I don't feel, sometimes I'll see, oh yeah, do some online dating. That would be good for you. I don't feel that that would necessarily mesh with you. But something about being in more of a social, like-minded group, like Meetup, and I'm only using that as an example. I feel like that would be like a great way for you just to put yourself out there. And then I feel like through that, you're going to meet a person who's really worthwhile. You don't strike me as like a dater. You strike me as somebody who meets somebody, falls in love, and you start a relationship. Do you understand that?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So it feels like that's probably the most productive way and just good for your soul. But really, anything that you can do to embrace self-worth and self-love. And I'm so glad you're listening to today's topic, because this is a really powerful topic for you. Okay?
Thank you, Julia.
nice
Thank you
of
so much for joining us here this morning.
All right. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
You bet. You bet. All right. Yeah. So quite a hot topic. If you're not in a relationship, that longing always for this soulmate, the partner to complete you. So we're just going to shift a little bit over to our discussion with some channeled messages from Metatron, and we're going to let Susan take it away.
You know, it's interesting, Julie. I'm going to kind of come in sideways here. I've got so many dear friends who have been married for several years. And even these people who are in committed, loving, dedicated relationships, even them, when I hear them talk, there's that void that's missing. And it's like, I know when I listen to them talk, it's like that void is the discovery of self. So even when we find these relationships, we still get that period after the shiny new kind of wears off, where it's like, wait a minute, I'm still lacking something. And that's why today's topic to me is so important. I loved what Metatron said about letting go of your attachments, wanting them to be different than they are and to be present. So many times we're so busy looking all around that we're not looking like, I'm right here, right now. I'm going to enjoy this moment. I'm going to be in this moment. So I thought that was very, very poignant. And I also loved what he said about you are whole and complete. You know, I mean, it's kind of frustrating that we always think that when I get to this point, I'll be ready. When I get this thing, I'll be happy. And I mean, all you have to do is just look at consumerism in the United States. And I mean, I've got one girlfriend, she has like an entire closet just for her underclothing. You know what I mean? So it's like people they just buy, trying to make themselves happy. And it's all within, it's not outside.
Oh, most definitely, most definitely. And I totally agree with you, Susan. I've been with my husband for 33 years. And I joke with him. I'm like, let's sell the house and buy a duplex. You can live in one side, I'll live in the other. And then we can come together and, when it's convenient for the both of us. But yeah, as I get older, I'm really, really craving some just alone time and me time. And I'm comfortable being alone. I like being alone. And it really is, I have to force myself to be with groups of people, to go out and interact and have friends and have this exchange with people. And I know that it's a needed part in my life. So, I mean, I think a lot of this too is about creating balance in your life, that it's not all of one thing or all of the other. It's creating a beautiful balance.
Absolutely. I can't believe, it's so much of we really do lack in balance. I know myself, I see that. But there's another thing, kind of jumping topics here, that I just want to get into before the time runs out. When he had said something about if you don't know yourself, and I'm kind of paraphrasing, that you'll trust the opinions of others more than your own. And when we give away our power to other people and we're like, well, they said, I mean, how many times have you felt perfectly fine about everything and then you get together with the girls and by the time you come home, you're like, I'm really upset with my life. And you've got all these new opinions that are really not your opinions at all. It's just people told you you're supposed to feel this way. So now I feel this way.
Yeah. Yeah. People impress their own belief systems on you. I mean, they are just so happy to just jump right in there and throw up all over you. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute here. That's, you need to separate yourself from what's in your head. Are these thoughts, are these actions or judgments coming from you? Or are they coming from other things that other experiences people have had, other belief systems that they are impressing upon you? So yeah, I mean, you just really, really need to be careful who you're hanging out with and what you're choosing to accept as your own truth, your own reality.
Yeah, it's funny. I remember my mother always telling me to make sure as a married woman that you always hang out. It's okay to have single friends, but you always hang out with a few married people because your single friends will always say, you put up with that? Why are you putting up with that? You shouldn't put up with that, because they just don't really understand the dynamics of like being married. Not that marriage is bad, but you know what I mean.
Absolutely. 33 years of knowing what you mean. Oh. Well, and sometimes in order to sustain a relationship, there has to be some give and take. And I mean, certainly I'm not always a perfect person either. So you've got to kind of have that rubber band bend back and forth, because if you, every time there's something was inappropriate or something was, disconnected in the relationship, you walked away. I mean, you'd never be in a relationship with anybody.
Absolutely. Yeah. Isn't that true?
Even yourself.
Right. Yeah. And that's why when he was talking about how we're an expression of God, and I always feel like when you look at it from that perspective, like we know that we're a piece of God, but it's like when you look at it that way, you're like, wow, I am holy. I am a holy being. I'm a divine creature. So why wouldn't I want to get to know myself? Whereas we, like what you were saying about with the ego, or he was saying about with the ego, we connect ourselves with all these judgments, and I should be this way, and I'm bad, and I'm that way, because we're thinking that we are our egos, because we don't know our souls. We don't know our spirits. We don't know our higher selves.
Yeah, exactly. And I know Metatron talked a little bit about God, and God doesn't need a partner.
Yeah.
Could you imagine God up there going, oh, I need somebody to complete me. Where's my soulmate? How come you didn't shut up yet? And I think sometimes when we can step into God's energy and just feel that completeness, that independence, the consciousness is rising independence. We don't need people outside of ourselves to complete us. They enhance us. So that kind of that shift in reality, your shift in your perception of what it is that will make you happy.
Yeah, I like that. They enhance us. Everything in life should enhance us. Yeah, that's beautiful. Good words, Julie.
Oh, thank you. It's such a delight to discuss with you, Susan. I so look forward to our time together on Tuesday mornings. It's my therapy. Are you kidding me?
That's funny.
And we are taking callers this morning at 1-202-570-7057. Again, 1-202-570-7057. Coming up in our next segment is Susan Schuler. Susan will be channeling the beautiful Jacob. He is a master teacher from the Akasha. And then in our fourth segment, we will be giving away another free psychic reading. So again, be sure to call in at 1-202-570-7057. This is Julie Geigel with Angel Talk Tuesdays. Stay tuned.
The cutting edge of conscious radio. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Would you like to speak to an archangel? Hi, I'm Julie Geigel, Trance Channel for Archangel Metatron. Book your session now and get the clarity and insight you need to make this your best year yet.
Past life readings promote understanding about current life situations. This is psychic medium Susan Schuler. Let me help you gain insight. Book an appointment today at mediumsusan.com.
And we are the Psychic Angel Channelers from Angel Talk Tuesday, hosted every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern on OMTimesRadio.com.
Aloha, my name is Jennifer O'Neill, and I'd like to invite you to come join me every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time for my show, Spirit Chat. Spirit Chat focuses on simplifying the process of using the spiritual tools and gifts you were born with in a way that fits into your everyday life. I also teach different techniques that will help you learn how to navigate the spirit realm and empower you on your own spiritual journey. So join me this Wednesday as I guide you through the spirit world.
Today, my new dad and I shot off a rocket in the park.
Today, my new son and I failed to shoot off a rocket.
The rocket launched into the air.
And then crashed into the pond.
I'll never forget that day.
I'll never forget that day, even if I tried.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Angel Talk Tuesday. This is Susan Schuler. We hope you enjoyed the beautiful channel from Metatron and Julie today, as well as our previous discussion. As a channeler, I work with a team of guides from the Akashic Records, of whom Jacob is the master teacher and leader of this group. The Akashic Records are where I gain much information during my past life readings and psychic readings. As a professional psychic medium based in the Los Angeles area, I do readings for clients in person and on the phone and with Skype all over the world. I do frequent mediumship and psychic demonstrations around Los Angeles and other parts of the country as well. I'll be back in Western New York and Ontario, Canada from July 27th to August 21st. Aside from private readings and small group readings, due to popular demand, I will be doing 2 demonstrations at the Eagle House in Williamsville. The August 1st event is sold out, but there is still room for the August 2nd evening. Everything usually books up quickly, so if you would like more information, email me at mediumsusan@icloud.com. And aside from private readings and demonstrations, I also teach classes. Julie and I are very excited to be teaching a mentorship program that we're currently dealing with for light workers. And the current one, of course, is sold out. It started last week, but we will be starting another 4-month training in November, and we will be teaching about psychic development, mediumship, and connecting to spirit guides and angels. All the details for any of this info may be found at my website at mediumsusan.com or on my Facebook page at Susan Schuler Psychic Medium. And as Julie mentioned, don't forget that we are accepting calls for the last segment of the show for mini psychic readings, and the number is 202-570-7057, and we hope to hear from you. So let me take a nice big deep breath and ask Jacob to step forward. Good morning, dear beautiful beings of light. Today we step forward in much hope and exaltation. Things continue to speed up on your planet, and we are seeing now, more than ever, the people of the earth remembering who they are. Today's message, however, is more designed for those who feel the anticipation, yet know not completely what is about to happen to them, but simply realize it is something of great importance. So for those of you whom relate to this, Please listen with most rapt attention. We realize the topsy-turvy feelings many are experiencing as of late, with the energetic highs and lows that resemble the attractions in your amusement parks, only without the factor of feeling amusement about this. There have been many shifts taking place directly outside your planet's atmosphere at this time, and many of you in the early stages of enlightenment may be feeling this in terms of anxiety and budding anticipation. Remember to take deep breaths and fear not. All is unfolding as it is ordained to do so. Never before, however, has it been more paramount than now to embrace some form of breath work and meditative activity. This will allow you to remain grounded, thus enabling you to learn to stay focused on the upcoming work in the future. For never forget, everything has been building to this moment in time for you. Most of you have spent your early years looking and searching for outside forces that bring you joy and love. But there has always been that continued nagging feeling in the back of your mind. And although these people, places, and things may have filled the void for a period of time, never have they left a lasting impression, which only further enhanced your feelings of lack and discontent. Outside stimuli, dear ones, are only the band-aid of a much too deep wound. You cannot simply cover this up. You must delve deep and see from where this springs from. And we are here to tell you it springs from within. Yes, these outside factors will leave you feeling empty because your soul longs to be acknowledged and embraced, not pushed to the side with these other shiny objects that do not bring lasting inner peace. For how can you attain this inner peace when you fail to dig within? The gift you are seeking of love, adoration, acceptance, and peace is really from within. And unless you find that in yourself, it can never be fully experienced with another. Look within. No one is here to complete you. You already do that, if you but take advantage of finding yourself and the true beauty that lies within, awaiting to be explored. For those of you who were lonely children, you did this naturally, playing in the make-believe worlds of your imagination. But with time, even these people often lose themselves along the way. The beautiful part, however, is that no matter how far away from yourself that you have allowed yourself to stray, you are always one simple breath away from reconnecting if you take the time to do so. Remember, any other relationship in your life will not bring you joy and peace in the same way a relationship with your soul will. So much like when you meet a friend, time must be spent together to learn likes, dislikes, and special quirks. All relationships, especially the one with yourself, require time spent together, digging in and getting to discover the beauty and peace of God that resides within. Choose today to set aside some time to simply sit and breathe. Do so without the typical human distractions. The ego will not feel comfortable with this because it does not want you to learn about yourself. The ego realizes there will be a loss of control and power the more you connect with your soul, the real seat of the self, the more it loses its manipulative hold over you, thereby lessening its ability to keep its power. We suggest finding a time at the beginning part of each day to do this, for we know how you all like to keep yourselves so very busy. This will allow for greater clarity and understanding during your day ahead. We also remind you that in your current age, it is very easy to be physically alone, but not alone at all. We see how you toggle from one device to the next, typing a line here and there all day long, never once slowing your minds down enough to connect to the true selves. So begin here. We challenge you to choose a time daily where you not only disconnect from others physically, but through the use of your technology, you unplug yourselves as well. Take the time to do this daily. As the new month approaches, why not set aside a few moments each morning to do this, thereby allowing yourself a dating period with yourself, much like you would with a significant other. Stop giving your power away to others. Learn who you are, and soon you will find the love of your life within. If you take time to do this, it will eliminate the need many of you have to control and change the people you choose to love. When there is true understanding of self, there is not the need to have another complete or love you, for you have already filled that void. Therefore, anything above and beyond that will be icing on your cake. Also, when you learn to look within and love, adore, respect, and acknowledge your soul within, you will be far more attractive to others. They will feel that you respect who you are and will give back to you what you feel you deserve. If you find yourself alone and wanting the love of others, or in and out of relationships with people who treat you in undeserving ways, realize that this is because you have yet to take the time to be alone and learn to explore who you are, feeling excited and intrigued with your own presence. If you care so little about getting to know and love yourself, why would another? Everything you seek for love, compassion, peace, and understanding, you already have within. You simply need to take the time and energy to get acquainted with yourself, and others will follow suit. You are a lovable, pure being of light who is here at this tumultuous time to light the pathway for others. But it will be impossible to do so when you not only fail to see that light within, but remain so very much in the dark about the amazing powers you hold. We remain surprised that even with all of these waves of enlightenment that are taking place on your planet, that still so many of you fail to see the power you hold within. This power has the amplitude to shoot much, much further than most of you imagine. And until you look within, this will not be possible. Why is it, do you suppose, that so many of your organized religions wrote such clear rules for you to follow? They did not want you to look within, because if you did, you would then realize you were indeed a piece of God, and therefore an extremely powerful being who could not be controlled. Stop allowing others to control you and hold their power over you. Begin today the love affair of a lifetime, the discovery of self. We continue to send you many signs to remind you to remember who you are, so you can therefore step with greater ease and grace into the being you were sent here to be. There is much work to be done, and you are needed. This is Susan Schuler channeling Jacob from the Akashic Records. Please stay tuned for the very last segment of our show where we will be discussing today's segment. Have a lovely and blessed week.
Bringing a more conscious lifestyle to your world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Looking for inspiration?
Want to be inspired?
Not sure where to go?
Find Mark and Kim every Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern on Inspired Living.
Topics will elevate consciousness and range from metaphysics to the human and social experience and all things spiritual.
Welcome to an inspired community that offers support, encouragement, and new ways of thinking. You are the inspired and the inspiration.
Are you a light worker? Would you like to become a light worker? Hi, I'm Julie Geigel, and I've partnered with my co-host from Angel Talk Tuesday, the gifted and talented Susan Schuler, to bring you an exciting new online event.
As former public school educators, Julie and I are now spiritual teachers. We've teamed up together to offer an exciting new mentorship program to help spiritual seekers align with their gifts to serve humanity.
This is an ongoing program that runs in 4-month segments. Go to juliegeigel.com to watch a sneak preview and learn more.
When is the best time to talk to your family about staying in touch during a disaster? When floodwaters reach your door? When wildfires are engulfing the edge of your neighborhood? Or an earthquake is destroying buildings? Or is the best time perhaps today? During a disaster, you may not be able to stay in touch with your family or friends as easily as you think. Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Welcome back. This is Julie Geigel from Angel Talk Tuesday, and that was a beautiful channeling by our lovely Susan Schuler. All right, and awesome new commercials. Yay, Susan.
See, they were worth all that trouble that you went through to make them work.
Wow. I mean, it's amazing how my memory is just not what it used to be. And I tell you, I had to go in and relearn everything all over again. All right. Yeah, Jacob was on fire this morning. And we are taking live callers. We are have time for one more free psychic or medium reading. You can call in at 1-202-570-7057. And if you just want to call in and say, hello, I'm a huge fan, we would love to hear you and talk to you about that. Beautiful. Okay, so we're just going to dive right in here. There was just so much, but let's just start with everything's been building for this. You know, we've got this beautiful rising consciousness coming up, and we can kind of feel the intensity. There's an intensity right now on the planet that is undeniable. And a lot of the energy we're picking up is collective consciousness. So just be aware of the energy and the source where that's coming from. And don't, take it personally type of thing. No matter how far away you have strayed from yourself, you are only a breath away from reconnecting. I loved that, Susan. Any thoughts on that?
It's funny. When I first started doing this work, I did not have a clue as to how important breath work was. And it seems like that I'm being told that time and time again. And it's like not only does everything really start with the breath, but the fact that it's always a breath away. I just love that. To me, it's like that allows us to take back our power.
Most definitely. I totally love that. Nothing will bring you joy and peace like the relationship you develop with yourself. That was just Boom. Boom. He hit the nail right on the hammer, right on the nail there with that statement, because I do believe that a lot of times we are looking at other people for our happy. And ultimately, our happy is up to ourselves. I always, when I work with people and they're not happy in a relationship, I always tell them, get happy with yourself first and then decide if your relationship was worth saving. Because 9 times out of 10, once you get happy with you, that relationship will fall into place.
Yeah, absolutely. God, and that's so powerful. And yeah, I wonder if this is kind of interesting if you think about it in these terms. If if counselors, like when people go to like couples therapy, if they really took time with like, okay, investigate yourself and really delve into yourself, if like there'd be more success with them. You know what I mean?
I do. And I used to work with a lot of couples, and what I would do is it was a requirement where they had to come in an hour alone just for their own self work, and then we'd meet an hour, usually 2 hours together as a couple, because and that's where I found the biggest leaps and the biggest shifts in consciousness, because it is parallel. It is a partnership. Not only do you have to have that self-love, but you also have to have that commitment to the relationship. And that it just brings it back into balance. You have to have a balance of both.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I do, and I don't know if you noticed this when you did that kind of counseling. I think I read somewhere that they said a majority of divorces are sort of instigated by the female. And now I know women, and I don't want to, gender stereotype here, but I know that women do have a tendency to delve more into their emotions on a whole than men do. And I think the same is true with delving into, discoveries about yourself. I mean, Julie, you have to acknowledge, like, most of the people that we have when we teach classes and things are usually middle-aged women.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
I think there's
45 to 55, they say, is the average awakening age of women.
And it's interesting because when I do mediumship, so many men come back and they're like, I put the emphasis on the wrong things. I should have given more time to specific people. You know what I mean? So they have those regrets when they come back. I don't see that as much with women, just because I think, and especially now, I think a lot more middle-aged women are kind of awakening, but I am still seeing some men. I'm not saying that, but it just feels more prevalent with the ladies. But I notice the ladies sometimes will bring the men along.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. And this 21st century is all about the rising female, the rising goddess, and that energy, the presence. I mean, I really thought Hillary was going to win it, because our planet, our energy field is ready for the female, is ready for that shift in energy. Definitely some exciting times coming with that. And I know Jacob also talked about establishing a practice, setting a date up with yourself. And I love that, because I'm a scheduler. I'm a, write it down and get it done.
Yeah, and you know what? But they say people. I actually read recently that they said that if you really, the most effective people, they interviewed them. And do you know these most effective people schedule 15-minute increments of their day? It's not like they just put down certain things, but it's like 15 minutes of their day. So to me, there's nothing wrong with saying, okay, first thing in the morning from 7 o'clock to 7:15, I'm going to sit quietly and just sort of reacquaint myself, and just kind of sit there. And it doesn't have to be in this woo-woo, chanting thing where you're doing a deep meditation. It can just be you just kind of sitting and allowing your mind to quiet down, instead of making your zillion to-do list about, and then I got to do this, and then I got to do that. That's not what Jacob's talking about.
Right,
and talking about just being.
Yeah, I can appreciate that because that's what I do. I've got my quiet time, I call it, and I take that first 45 minutes to an hour in the morning, and I just sit outside. Well, now we have nice weather. I can be outside. I sit outside quietly, and I just drink my coffee, and I contemplate. I contemplate my day. I contemplate the way the leaves are blowing on the trees. I mean, I contemplate big things and little things, but most importantly, I just spend time being alone with myself. And I tell you, I used to be at a time, I remember when I was 14 years old, I hated who I was. I could not stand to look at myself in the mirror. I just hated everything about myself. And I've just come so far because now I'm like, I'm a rock star. I love myself. I love being alone with myself. I love doing things with myself. I love just sitting and being with myself, just sitting in the chair and petting the cat. It's like that. I mean, it's simple, very, very, very simple things. And I think that it really pays off. And that was another thing. Stop giving. Let me just finish this thought. Stop giving your power away to others, and you will find the love of your life within. It's true, Susan. It's true.
Yeah. It always used to depress me when you'd hear people say, you come into this world alone and you leave this world alone. And you know what? That's not such a bad thing,
Absolutely. I love that. I love that. And, how about if you use a different tone? You come alone and you leave alone. Yay for being alone. All right, everyone. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to join us here on Angel Talk Tuesday. Archives are posted 24 hours after the live show airs on OMTimesRadio.com. Don't forget to join us in the Facebook on Angel Talk Tuesday Break Room, where we post our favorite quotes of the show. And remember, you have a plethora of angels uplifting, inspiring, and emboldening you in God's love every day. This is Julie Geigel and Susan Schuler. Until next time, have a beautiful week.